Morning, folks. 9/25, January 10th, 2018, day 2 of the market turn. Where it's turning, nobody knows until it starts heading there. Could be higher, could be lower, could be all kinds of things, but there is definitely going to be rotation here. So I'm working on that part of things. Today we're gonna finally, today's deadline. Every possible last of the models from last year are getting out tonight, and pre-market XNET watching really close. It's at a quad wall support area. I'd rather not follow it into the lower quad, so I'd have to cut for a small profit instead of a big profit on yesterday's hold. INSY pre-market 976, riding at 200 MA on the daily. If it loses it, I may ride down to the 20 MA, but I doubt it. I'd probably cut for a small loss, considering we're at a turn in the market here, and I don't know which direction it's going yet, and I'm sorting that out as fast as I can. SLCA is riding its 200, so I'm in that one small as a long. I'm in INSY, small as long. The S&P, no surprise at the timing cycle here. Yesterday I said that if it gets up over here, 275.03, it was gone to the upside, and without that, you're looking for 273.46 as a pivot. So hopefully it holds 273.46, and magically at the timing cycle, it's played out perfect. So it's in decision mode. So don't get too biased either way, up or down in the markets, because decision is being made literally right now. Okay, so that's generally what's going on. SEII PR on blockchain this morning, up 17.57%. I was going to enter, but it doesn't have the liquidity. With the dry powder that I have, I would knock that stock around into oblivion. So I'm just going to wait for market open and hopefully some liquidity. HMNY is the big mover on the morning. It was funny, I seen one of the gurus post, I got my members in 4 weeks ago, and look at what it's doing. Well, yeah, look at the chart 4 weeks ago. So what price did you get your members in at? Anyway, I love the Momo and HMNY. It trades real smooth. It has tons of liquidity. I was going to get in here, but I didn't. So I'm watching for the open. Your big support is at $9. Your next one on the downside is 630, or the 200 on the 30-minute at 715. So that's 630, 715, and $9. $9 is your big support. It backed off here at the first resistance, which is not great, but that's pre-market, so we'll see how it opens. And that's at 1016. Your next resistance is 1107, and your next one 1171. So at open, I might take an entry long if we get the right momentum in here with a target of 1171. We'll see how that goes. Right now it's 37% up on the day, so you got to be careful with that 50% too. That's probably what happened. It was probably at 50% here when it got up into this resistance area, and that's probably why it backed off. So I don't know if 1171 equals 100%, but probably does, and that's my target on the HMNY trade. So XNET under pressure here, rated open. We got seconds to open. We'll see how this does here. 30 seconds. I'd really hate to have to dump here, but I have to. There's serious pressure. Okay, so we got some alarms. CLG, XP, XNET, and HMNY. I'll come back to those in a minute. I'm just watching my XNET trades. Sorry, guys. Ooh, pressure. Pressure here. BTC alarm. Okay, so it's holding that quad wall. Just. HMNY, how are we doing? So you're still in that test zone. S&P, how are we doing? Ooh, pressure. So this timing cycle in the S&P comes due at, its peak is at 12 o'clock today. Ugh, ugly timing, 12:18, so over lunch. Wow, gonna be an interesting day today. Caution, caution. Caution flags everywhere. No dead bodies yet, I don't think. Morning, Crystal. Morning, Corey. Oil King. Who else is in the room? Got a few, hey? So just while we wait for a decision here in the S&P and HMNY and XNET, I'll tell you real quick, I literally landed the best property on the North Coast yesterday, and I'm not exaggerating, the best. Like, and it's not a big house or anything, like so it's a couple thousand square feet, but it's like square in the middle, right on the beach, over a little cliff, stairs down to the beach, but it couldn't be more square perfect. Oh, anyway, it's gonna be ready in 60 days. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. 4-bedroom house. Rooftop patio is like 2,500 square feet or so. And just couldn't be better. House is really modest, actually. The property is perfect. The house is modest. The house is going to get ripped down in 3 years, and condos are going to go there. But the property, the actual piece of property is the best, like literally #1. So blessed. HMNY still under pressure, XNET under pressure, but they're both holding their key support levels. See you in 60 days. Well, the place that we're in right now with the cabins and stuff is pretty cool too, but this particular property just happens to be the best one on the coast. I've each location that I'm going to travel to in my semi-retirement, I'm getting into small business enterprises, and so this is a bit of a little opportunity. And yeah, come on. Okay, so XNet's getting going here, guys. We've got some Momo on XNet up over its resistance here, I might add. So there we go. Resistance is futile. 23.48 and 23.63. It started to get going there, and now it's backing off. So anyway, I want to see it over that. Pre-market, it did just about hit the mid-quad resistance at 25.05. I just about exited there, and I thought, you know what? I want to add into this one. I'm hoping the market turns north instead of south. So HMNY just on its support now. Just above it. That's its main support here. You're testing. So you're trading 9.12. Your support's at, oh, look at that. See, $9 here. XNET holding so far. HMNY holding so far. Let's hope the market doesn't panic. It's a 4-bedroom Crystal, so you and your significant other and or friends or family are very welcome. It's, I mean, for a beach house, it's big, right? Actually, I don't even know how big it is. It's around 2,500 square feet, like all one floor with a big rooftop balcony. And the yards are massive, front and back, right on the beach. I'm so pumped. So pumped. The bedrooms are huge. Big formal dining. Like it's the right place for like 10 people to camp out and have a blast. It's gonna be pretty neat time. And then once that's all done, then I'm gonna go on to Colombia and get set up there, and a few more on the list, hopefully before any sharks get me or anything like that. Okay, I hear there was a big earthquake down in the Caribbean last night. A lot of people warning me about tsunamis and stuff, and I thought, geez, you guys don't know I live in a treehouse. I'll be okay. I'm sleeping. I'm in a treehouse. Tsunami's not gonna get me. XNET. Nice. Okay, so this is holding up actually quite nicely. SEII might get going here. That's that PR on blockchain. Has it got any volume yet? That's the question. No. 100,000 at $8. 871. HMNY is holding. XNET holding. That must mean the S&P is holding. Oh, come on. Yeah, the S&P is holding. So it looks like the S&P might get structural here. I might just go long the S&P if it, like into that time cycle, if it gets going for sure, like at noon there. I'll rip a big order long on the S&P because this is its test, right? In this zone right here. If it gets going, oh, for sure. This is shitty. INSY. So I didn't keep my eye on it. I didn't have it alarmed. It's such a small order. I hate little bugger. You know what I might do? I might, because this is a daily chart, stock RSI is right here. Obviously the MACD is turning down, squeeze momentum is turning down, but that stock RSI might get me a little lift. So what I might do is at the 20, might just F and hammer it hard, just for a very short play while that stock RSI is going up. And then when the stock RSI hits the top on the daily or like turns back down, then cut it all and hopefully get out, you know, with a profit. Because I missed my 200 execution. Stupid. SLCA holding up. That one's going to be fine, I'm sure. S&P is actually looking pretty jiggy. XNET's holding. So XNET, what's its timing cycle look like here? So this is for, oh yeah, these are wider quads. HMNY is holding. So I'm going to run some scans here. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get a feel for what the gurus are up to. The gurus. AMRH. What a play. I totally ignored it. I'll admit it. Guilty as charged. Kodak. Completely ignored it. Guilty as charged. It's not my, oh, not the structure I'm looking for. Should be nice to see S&P get up and off its ass. And obviously it's been doing well, but how's oil doing? Oil is above its target for today, so it's under pressure. I should have taken a short actually at the top of the quad. No excuse for that other than just being busy. But it looks like short-sided for the day anyway. Short-sided bias. Just for the day. Not by much though, but we'll see. An EIA report at 10:30 could get interesting, considering where we are. If that EIA report sends oil down, I bet you the S&P is going with it, because the S&P is at such a sensitive spot in here. Nice. They're buying at INSY, so that's stock RSI. Ooh. That would be kind of funny if that was a head fake under that 200. If it gets back up over the 200 and it goes, I'm hitting it hard. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be the 20 MA. Stock RSI turns up. I hit it, you know, for 3, 4, 5 tenths, and then get out on the bounce before it goes to further test. But we'll see. Okay, SEII. Oh yeah, how are my scans going here? XNET's doing fine, hey? It's holding up well. Come on, get over that resistance. I need it up in here. I want it up in here and hit it. Be a nice trade, boy. We're almost there. That's good relative performance. HMNY right on support. Right on support. It's falling through support now. Careful, careful. Very careful. Bitcoin. It's sitting right on that, just under that pivot, under that mid-quad support that I've been publishing all over the universe, trying to get people to think. Anyway, yeah, only been publishing that date and price for 3 weeks. Oh, look at this, XNET, yeehaw, 2370, nice. Okay, I'm loading. XNET, buy, market. Oh, it's so close. I just about triggered. So close. What a great play. Wow, are we ever up on that one? Let's do this. Ah, come on. So it's in decision area right now. Dang it, I loaded on the buy side instead of the sell side there. We're almost there. Beautiful trade so far. INSY isn't off that far. SLCA, I'm actually up. Okay, here we go. So now what I do is I gotta bring this down. I gotta screw up this chart here for a second. It's moving fast too. See, over support, off they go. Little buggers. Okay, why is XNET showing me resistance right here on this? Oh, that's not resistance, that's a drawing. That white line, don't pay attention to it, that's a drawing. Okay, so we need indicators on the 5. Ignore that white line. Okay, so your stock RSI is getting really close, you know, to the top. But look at your squeeze momentum just turning green. MACD's turning up. So on the 5, that looks fairly decent. On the 1, so your stock RSI is right at the top here on the 1. So the time to hit it would have been here, but everything's trending. So this, you know, this resistance at 25 makes a lot of sense. So if we can get this thing to hold to 200 here, we do it on 5s here. Okay, so that's the candle switch right there. That's a nice switch. It's a good switch. Nothing wrong with that. But as you get closer to $25, it's gonna come under pressure. But this gets up over the previous $5 candle, and I think I'm gonna have to add here. Over 24. Yeah. It's It's risky, but I think I'm going to do it. It's hard to ignore this play because it's got a lot of firepower under the hood. So as long as you manage it properly. Okay. So 3 minutes and 52 seconds left on the candle. Lots of time left on the candle. There's the $24 mark. Wow, is that going to hold? Stock RSI on the one's so high. There's lots of room on everything else. Why am I hesitating? What's the S&P doing? Look at the S&P. XNET's ignoring it so far. Look at that. Wow, that's strength. Oh, why did I hesitate? Two minutes left. I'm going to wait for the. I don't have a choice now. I hesitated. The $24 mark was the hit. What a great trade this is, though. Just banking on this one. Banking heavy. So 25, that's major resistance. So I'll probably cut and then re-enter it near there. So I'm turning to the sell load. $24.30, $24.28. At least it's up and over that quad. So it's getting to the next mid quad. What are we? We're almost done the 5 minutes. So it's getting to the last minute. So this is where the decision gets made for more up or down. So we're going to go down to the 1 minute. So you got exactly 1 minute left. If it gets weak here, I might just cut and then re-enter. It's tough to say, man. 24.36, resistance is at 25, so discipline says cut and then re-enter. You know, it gets over the resistance, you re-enter. It goes under the resistance, comes off, and then you hit it at the turn again. When it turns back up. 24.43. So this is interesting, they're buying into the last 30 seconds of the 5 minute candle. That is strong. Here's decision time, 22 seconds. 38, 24.40, 25's resistance, 12 seconds. They're buying it, 24.50, volume's decent, price action's decent, 46. Okay, here's the turn on the 5 minute. Come on guys, go. gonna start trailing out here soon. Until it gets over that resistance. I think we'll see here. Serious strength. This is an example of taking trades in structural strength. $24.77, 78, so getting close at 25. $4.80. I think we got 3 minutes left on the 5. I'll have to check. Or is it 4? It's 4. 24.82. 5. 87. Look at this. 90. Lots of time on the 5-minute candle too. 93, 95. Wow, look at this. So strong. 99, it hit 24.99. Look at that. 1 cent under resistance. Early in the candle, in the 5-minute candle, really early. Okay, now it's backing off. Okay, so I trimmed half. And boom, there goes the other half. So I got 24.84 average. Oh no, 24.76. Oh well. Close 24.76 average. No, it's the average of the two, 76 and 84. I'll wait for my ticket, but let's just call it 24.82. That was a good trade. So as long as it gets up and over that resistance now, it's a buy again. I'm just going to check my ticket here. SLCA is up. Wow, this account is building fast now. I'm going to freaking hammer this account so hard. I'm going to set my own record this year. Oh yeah, I see that stock RSI. I should have been watching that closer. I would have caught that a little earlier. But I got out pretty good. Wow, look at the strength in this thing. HMNY, so it's under resistance. Under pressure. SEII. Should get an alarm on this one. Didn't even notice. Oh yeah, no, ignore that. Okay, so I got an alarm here on SEII because that one's got PR and blockchain, quote unquote. HMNY is under resistance. XNET we caught right near the top here on the close from our entry, I think was 2098, and we're out to average around 2480-ish. I'll have to wait for my ticket to know exactly what it is. INSY under pressure, but it's a small small trade, and we're doing well in this trade now. It's over its 200 on the weekly. I mean, that's really strong area to take a trade, and it's over its 100 now on the weekly. Everything's trending. It all on the weekly. It all says it's a good trade. So, yeah, see, lots of strength there. So I may add in here soon on SLCA. Or I might just spread the money around a little bit, because we've got all those. If you haven't watched the videos, the swing trade videos I've done recently, or those swing trading reports, you'll see the ones I'm talking about possibly spreading around in, like EOG. It's up again today. It keeps going. BOFI keeps going up again today. So I should have probably spread that money around a little bit, but I have so much dry powder that I can start executing anytime. And I didn't want to execute too fast in the turn. It's kind of like being a teenager, you know. Okay, this is doing well here. So that's SLCA, XNET. So here's a test for it, the 200 on the 1. If it loses that, it's going to see more down. But let's get rid of all the junk on the chart. Let's go back to wider view. We got the model on the fly model. These white lines, they are just drawings. They don't represent anything. Look at how it hit that mid-quad resistance so perfect. Man, chart porn on the go. Okay. Anything else going on out there I should be aware of? How's the S&P doing here? It's got a hold here. Wonder INSY's under pressure here. When this stock RSI turns, I'll hit INSY really hard for a quickie, just to get me out up. But I'll really whack it. When it gets that 20 MA, it'll bounce. Enough for me to whack it for 3 or 4 tenths, because I'm in 1/10. Get the bounce, get out. SLCA, nice play. It's got to hold this place. 37.60 on the week. If it holds it, it's gone. It'd be the top of the previous weekly candle. And it's, you know, it's proving that it's gonna. That bull with the 20 MA on the weekly, that's a nice bull. That 20 MA gets up here, it's gonna push it up. That's gonna be a good play. Everything suggests. So all the other ones are in play that I've listed in swing trading reports, and I'm gonna update. Those swing trading reports are critical for this week, because this is the turn week, right? So next week is when things move. This is just the what's the right word? This is like the trailer, right? The movie trailer this week. So it gets set. That turn gets set, and people get their liquidity going in the right direction. And next week is where it moves into earnings. So if these play out, it's really critical that I have all that charting done this week, like every last one of them that we follow, and that I start to scale in, 1, 2, 3 tenths by Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then by the end of next week, like 5 to 10 tenths on all of the plays, and then you start moving out of them, in the right timing cycles, and so that's where the next charting is going to come in. And then hopefully it's like the first quarter of last year, and then the rest of your year, if you can triple-digit return on your portfolio in your first quarter, the rest of the year you can muck about with the rest of the market, because by the time you get into the third quarter, whatever move that tends to happen through the timing cycles is started. The pieces it's chewing off the tops, and it's really hard to do. Tops or the bottoms, depending. So the time to do it is in that first quarter turn. Anyway, that's where my focus is going to be, and I'm going to deep dive that content over the next couple weeks. So I'm finishing the models today, and then I'm into all of that charting to get that turn proper into the quarter. By this time next week, I'll be in really deep, and then as earnings start coming, then I'll be coming out, and then the goal is at 100% or better on the portfolio by the end of the first quarter. So that's the goal. So that requires a lot of charting, a lot of understanding of timing cycles and that kind of thing. Too bad I missed my exit here on the 200 MA, but anyway, that's INSY. You guys know what I'm doing there. XNET, it's holding in this area, but not well. XNET. So your proving ground here with XNET is, so all you do on the quad is you just take your little drawing tool. You go to where your resistance is at mid quad. You go down here like this, and you go like this, and so that's where it is. That's its proving ground. If it fails that, let's go out a little more so you see it, right? Now, this is a smaller quad that I put in there yesterday. You have to watch the video that I haven't published yet. I meant to publish it last night. The main wide quad here on the 4 hours right here, but I broke it up, right? Because this is an intraday trading quad. Anyway, it's sitting right down in the proving area, but it's got huge support down here at 2166, and it could end up down in here. No, this isn't the updated chart. I published one this morning on my Twitter feed. I'll have to grab that before midday. But these middays are going to be really critical going into going into this turn. Really critical. Oh, I see what I've done here. So I'm going to get back out on the 240. This is 30 minute. So it's holding that zone, but once you learn how to do this charting, you'll never go back, because it's a GPS. It always tells you where you are. Of course, you get the dummies that too many lines. Look, when I'm going to trade, too much information is not possible. Just not possible. The people that keep it simple get simple returns. Sorry, but it's true. Simple minds, simple returns. I know, I get it. You're fighting for alpha in the market. I'm not fighting for alpha. I'm fighting for 10 to 40 times alpha. Because I want a house on the beach. Sorry, but true. As many as possible. Okay. So intraday, this is still in play properly. Still structural, XNET. Ignore these white arrows, those are just drawings. Okay, so that's XNET. Let's just clean this up here. HMNY, still under resistance, but you know what? The way this thing trades, man, anything's possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alarm this one. Liquidity is so nice in this. We're just going to alarm these. Take a look around in the markets, and I'll take coffee before midday. This is all going to be about charting it, knowing exactly where we are and all of it, having our finger on the turn, properly on the pulse of the turn, knowing where the turn is, getting all the models and charts done, getting them ready, scaling in between now and this time next week, maybe by the end of next week at the latest. As earnings come, start to trim back out, and then by the end of the quarter, being up triple digits. That's the whole goal. This year, so this account, I'm gonna, that's the blog post I'm gonna do, but I've identified one account. It's 112K or something right now, and I want to take that one this year to $1 million. So in the first quarter, if I can go 112 to 250, then I'm well on my way. And why I'm saying $1 million is, to tenfold it is I want to get the big turn, and I think there's a much bigger turn coming before the end of the year, mid-year to third quarter. I think there's a massive turn in there coming, like a real structural turn in markets, not just kind of like a timing cycle turn. I'm talking a big structural turn. So we'll see if I'm right. That's your little update on what Kurt's doing. So HMNY just under resistance. We'll see how that proves out. SEII, I've got it alarmed. That's our PR of blockchain. XNET, I've got it alarmed to the downside just in case, but I'm not holding anymore. Of course, we got the big win there right at the resistance. Sweet. Or we got it just under, but anyway, it hit resistance perfect on our charting. And do I want to alarm this? Yeah. So I want to know if this gets up over this resistance, right? 2363. 2363. We'll call it 64. And then what we want to do is we want to little bugger. Okay, so I'm going to alarm this so when it hits the 20, add alert, INSY crossing 20. So either that happens or my stock RSI turns. Stock RSI crossing. Stock RSI. My 20 doesn't hold, I'll have to get out for a small loss and call it on that one. But do I have any natural support going on here? Historical support? A little bugger? I do. It's basically in that region right now. Catching these bottoms isn't easy. It's not easy business. That's why you want to manage your sizing. Critical. SLCA doing fantastic. Structurally set up. The S&P. So, real quick, I'll just tell you one more time. You want to see it hold this 273.50 area to be structurally in play. You want to see it up above 275.05 to be bullish. Testing ground is in here. Well, it's actually to the next one below too, so but as it gets closer to the bottom, it's more bearish. So your testing ground really is 271.89 to 275.05. Midpoint is right where it's trading right now in that testing ground, and that decision will decide which direction these markets are going to a high probability degree, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to alarm the S&P at 27384. I hope this stuff is helping you guys a bit to get an idea of how I make decisions. 27384. It's a whole bunch of little decisions and clues to add, compound your gains, become independently wealthy, and get some freedom. Okay, so that's alarmed, and then we'll alarm this side down here. But it takes patience, and you got to think through, and it's not exciting. 27268. It's not like a casino. 27268. You have to take it serious. But once you, it's like having an arm. Once you understand how to do this, you'll have an arm that just functions. You don't have to think. You just do it. And it becomes easier. But it gives you a lot of confidence in the markets to know what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. You get into trouble like an INSY, like me. Like I got a couple other little plays from last year, right? AOI and stuff. I don't even have to look at the charts. I know that when I start to get in and trade through and out of that, I'll win them when it's over, because I know what the structure is, right? You know, something like XNET, would I sit in it without knowing? No. But AOI, will I sit in it without? Yeah. I couldn't care if it was down 80% right now. It wouldn't matter to me. In fact, I'd say good. It's down 80%. Great. I'm in 1/10. I'm going to whack that thing for 3 or 4 tenths. If I don't get it right there, I'm going to whack it again for the final 5 or 6 tenths. And boom, I'll win it. I'll guarantee it. But, you know, some of them, you just don't know if they'll ever come back. You know, like SEII, who knows? You know, I don't know anything about the company. Nice way to go, Corey. Okay, that's what I see. I'm gonna look at the scanners here real quick for you, because it's getting to be, it's 10:11. EIA is coming at 10:30. I'm gonna want to be on top of that. That could be a big play, by the way. There's a turn in oil coming down. It's just where, you know. I don't think it's here yet. Soon though. In the model, it's not there yet. Okay, let's see what else is going on. NQ, man, that's not easy to trade. Yeah, a lot of the gurus are trading NQ here. Whoa, took $3,800 loss. Incredible trade. It's a big loss, man. I don't know if I've had a $3,800 loss in. Ooh, that's a big loss. Been a couple years, I think. Oh, mind you, in crypto, but crypto's different. Crypto, man, I've had big losses and big wins. But that's play money, right? It's different. AMRAH, 44% drop. Wow. What else we got here? Bonds under pressure. Just looking around the markets here quick before I say I'm gonna make coffee. I want to be back for 10:30, so stretch the legs a little bit. Yeah, so HMNY's pressure is there. I'd watch this. Actually, I'm going to alarm it for that. That 200 MA on the 30 might not be a bad entry. I'll alarm it. Take a look if it gets there. HMNY crossing 200 MA. And then we got SEII after that alarm on the upside. XNET. Structurally in play, INSY. Surprised I haven't gotten continued pressure here to the 20, but it might stop here on. Okay, so they're buying the S&P. It's at the quad wall resistance right now, right there. See that? They blow through here. 10:15 in the morning. Mind you, EIA is coming up in minutes. See, if EIA wasn't coming up and this blows through this quad wall here, I'd be long all day long. But it's that EIA report. See what's happening here. They bounced off of the mid-quad support right into the quad wall. Now the decision's got to be made. I see, and they're taking it. There's a fib right above. Very interesting. If EIA wasn't in 14 minutes, I would be hammering this thing all day long over this fib right here, because it, up over support, mid-quad support, up over the quad wall, next fib test, because it's usually one fib away is where the test, it'll bounce in between. Test to the upside is one fib, test to the downside is one fib on the charting, right? So you see how it overshot here, it undershot it here. And so this is your coil, this is your mid quad coil or pivot, some people will call it. The difference with this modeling that we do is that we know in advance where all the pivots are and where all the quads are and all the channels and everything, right? So it's just a matter of navigating through it like a GPS. Okay, so this has got to prove out. I can't do anything anyway before EIA because that can rattle markets. Oil's saying that it's going to support this area, so EIA will probably be up into the next resistance on the model of oil, which is a fair ways up. It's not real close yet, so we probably aren't going to get the pressure from oil, and the S&P is probably going to be along, but that's yet to be determined. That's 12 minutes away. I'm going to make a coffee quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to watch, sorry, I'm back for EIA here. So I'm watching the S&P on the monitor that you guys are seeing, and I'm watching oil on another monitor. Oil's under pressure here, so we'll see how this firms up. I won't put it on your monitor, you can watch from another, but I'm just watching the model. So oil is under pressure, going right towards Epic's target for the day. Very, very close to the target. If it stays above that target, then it's bullish. I'd expect it to stay above the target and continue its trend towards resistance on the model, which is up a ways, a few bucks or more. I'd have to take a look exactly, but it's not at the main resistance yet is the point, so I still think it's got room to the upside. But the EIA report can decide that, so that's why I'm watching really close right now. FX US oil WTI is trading at 63.14. Where that puts, okay, so it's holding right now. Oil is holding just above that that target for the day, which means it's bullish. It's got a little more. It needs a minute or two or three to prove out, and then it should be fine. And then what I'll do is I'll take a break until lunch, and then these middays are going to get really serious going forward. So the S&P is responding right now. So we want to see the S&P up and over 273.83 on the day for a possible long. So I just might load for that. What's VIX doing? 10.3. So I don't know if I'll go SPXL or I'll go, that's the 3 times long ETN or ETF. Or I'll go XIV for a possible volatility stomp. Because oil gets going positive here, the S&P gets going positive, volatility gets stomped. So I'll either go XIV or XPXL. Now VIX 10.3, I'll probably go XPXL. So I'm just going to load SPXL here. SPXL. Monkey's telling me it's time to go outside. Stock. Buy. Market. Now, XNET might respond to this, just so you know. It's got this mid-quad target, 2502 over there. It might respond to it. I would think it will if the S&P gets up and over this fib right here. This fib isn't a massive decision, but it's enough of a decision because your mid-quad's here at 273.47. Your first fib test is at 273.83. Once it gets up and over that first fib test, and especially if it's over the 200 MA on the one, it'll usually bowl. This is the cradle on the quad right here. It'll usually bowl through and then go. So if that plays out, now oil's got to prove itself here. It's still sitting right on support. So, you know, it's all got to prove itself right now, and I hate to take monkey outside right now because this could be a really nice trade. Now it might, you know, this cradle, the lower part of this quad here, this decision is actually right at, let's get an exact time. So it's right in the middle of our midday review today. It's like at 12:20, 12:25. That's where the cradle is. But the moves usually start to happen into it, right? So you don't want to wait right until the timing. You want to catch the move into that because then, you know, that's how you get the widest part of the trade. So monkey's looking at me here like, come on. Dang it. Come on, oil, get going so we can do this. Here we go. Here we go. So oil's holding up well. Usually 3, 4, 5 minutes after EIA, you have a pretty good idea what's going to happen. But it might be that the S&P, just follows the quad down into the cradle here. So how these models work real quick. So, once it's in the cradle, so it's actually in the cradle right now. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. All you do is you just get your little triangle tool and go like this, right? So that's the cradle of the quad. This is, and then it shoots out. If it fails down in here, then you end up shooting down to your next support. And so that's the testing area that it's in right now. So let's just remove that. Lower inverse quad, cradle, quad, whatever you want to call it. So that's where it is. The oil's actually doing quite well here. It's held up well. I think it's going to go to the next resistance, which is, at least a few bucks above. I can't remember the exact number. We're 6 minutes after EIA. It's holding up. I think we're okay. So anyway, I'll just reiterate the fact that the middays between today and end of next week are going to be massive for the year. Massive. They're really critical. So anybody that's listening or watches this video, understand that those are the ones you don't want to miss. If you want to trade structurally, if you want to trade technically, if you want to trade so you know what you're doing and where you're going, and if you want to follow me into 100% returns in the first quarter, I'm telling you that you do not want to miss them. Go back in the last 2 or 3 because those are critical. So this 2-week period. So today's Wednesday, so maybe start any that you can find last Thursday, Friday into so the dates on that would be January 5th through to the 15th, let's call it, or even 18th. Any videos in that range because the timing cycle is the 9th. So a little bit before, definitely a week or 2 after, and you see here goes the S&P. So I'm loading SPXL here. There it is. The fish just hit it. So the S&P has decided that the EIA report is far enough in its rear view mirror. 7 minutes after, it's up over its resistance. I'm still watching. I got my finger on the trigger. I like to take the meat, right? The middle. I don't like the choppy. Enough choppy, just even in technical trading, trying to get the meat, you get chop. Forget being on the edges of both sides. So let's see how this proves out here. Come on, guys, let's go. There we go. Nice. So they responded to that EIA. There we go. Nice. Trying to hold monkey here for another 3 minutes. I'd like to see a 5 minutes over that support. Fib test. So here comes the back test now. So the next 3 minutes should decide it. See, I don't want to miss my entry. At the same time, I got to get monkey out. It's that time of day for their OCD dog, bulldogs. Everything's at exact same time of the day. Like if I walk him back from the beach, he has to walk in exactly the same footprints as the day prior, like on pavement or anything. And if there's like a car parked there or something, it's crazy because he'll stop and like tell the car it needs to move. So it's crazy. Morning bulldogs. Not a normal dog. but I understand them because it's tough being caught in your own head. I get it. Okay, here we go. So I'm long SPXL 1/10. 47.72. Long SPXL 1/10. 47.72. So even if that comes back down into that cradle, as long as it holds support, you know, because now it's just a matter of getting going with it into it. So I just gotta get this alert out. Now if it continues, it'll crush. Yeah, volatility is already coming down. It'll crush volatility. For sure. Okay, so I got my initial entry. So I'm going to take monkey outside, and then I'll be back for noon. Oil's getting a jump here. So hopefully the S&P holds up. It hasn't back tested that fib line yet, which I thought it would. So I might, monkey's laying down here, I might give it another minute or two before I leave. Wow, those ones from those recent swing trading reviews I've done on the reports and videos and stuff, they're doing really well. I should have spread a bunch of money around on those. Should have, could have, would have, but you know, that's the thing about these moves. If they prove themselves out, then there's time. Take a look at this XNET here. Okay, so it's out of its intraday structure, right at mid support of the quad for its wider structure, off 7.5%. It's still structurally in play long. It's just, you know, these are testing areas, right? But you can see, you know, you want that kind of pressure, that kind of downdraft. Knowing where this is critical, because if it makes a turn here, starts to make a turn, it's nice to know that you've got that, that structural support underneath. There's so many different ways to use it. Everybody finds their own style in it. And of course, you know, a lot of people become experts once they learn how to do this, and they don't need to learn anymore on it after the first 3 or 6 or 12 months. But that's very dangerous too. But I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to warn people. See, this is the back test that I was talking about. So you see how we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So at the 5-minute mark, it's back testing. So critical timing on the intraday, you know, tight. 200 MAs come swooping down now on the 1. Oil's doing quite well here, so should signal the markets that things are okay. It's not the prime mover, but it's EIA can affect it for sure. Okay, I'm taking monkey out. I'll be back in a few minutes.